Hey y'all, it's Date Tip Monday, and today's date tip is about communication. Good, strong communication. I'm pretty sure I've done multiple posts on communication. Today, mostly about authenticity. Authenticity and vulnerability. Those two things are necessary as part of communication. A lot of times we are afraid. Fear propels us to avoid being vulnerable. Fear of rejection, fear of failure, fear of not having or getting what it is that you think you want or you think that it's supposed to be for you. I think we've got to get away from those types of attachments to specific outcomes so that we don't have the fear of that disappointment or potential disappointment. And then we get to be our authentic selves and hope that it's enough. So being your authentic self is crucial to any type of relationship or friendship or familial relationship. It's important to be able to be who you are and be able to be 100% authentically you in any situation with any person, because trying to please different personalities and different scenarios and situations is exhausting, first of all, but eventually you'll run out of other personalities to be. So learn to be your authentic self from the beginning, because that way you get to find out if you're going to be able to connect with somebody and so on. The next thing and the next component to this is vulnerability, learning how to be vulnerable. It's a scary thing for so many people, but it's the best way to connect with anybody. Being vulnerable allows you to be your authentic self. Being vulnerable, you have to discard all fear. You have to not be worried about judgment or rejection or feelings of, self-lack or whatever the cases are. Being vulnerable is the best way to be, and it's also the most self-loving form you can express in, is being vulnerable and being authentic, but allowing yourself to just be open and be seen. The only way that you can be hurt by being vulnerable is if you are attached to an outcome. If you have attached yourself to a specific outcome, whether it's in a conversation, in a relationship, in a specific scenario, I want her to be mine, so I have to do this, this, and this, that's not going to work in your best interest. If you are just authentically who you are, you express, you open up, you're vulnerable, those are your best chances, and if it doesn't work out, let it be. We're so quick to think that somebody is for us, or we have these ideas about what it's supposed to look like, and we set up these big vision boards and these big specific ideas, and so when something good comes along, sometimes we don't recognize it because we're so stuck on what we think it's supposed to look like. A lot of times we have to disassociate with some of these ideas about what we think it's supposed to look like. Allow ourselves to be who we are, be vulnerable in a situation, allow someone else to be who they are, and you might be surprised at what the outcome is. Many times that person is not for you, and you'll find out sooner than later if you're able to be vulnerable. Don't take things personally. Someone else's desires and dreams and goals that are different than yours has nothing to do with you. So don't take it personally if it's not about you. So be authentic, be vulnerable. For me personally, you have to be able to express yourself. You have to be able to be interested in who I am, which means asking questions, which means listening actively, which means participating in my life, understanding what I feel and what I want and what I dream and so on, because that's how I am going to interact with somebody, because I'm always wanting to know how somebody I'm interested in thinks and feels and what makes them sad and what makes them happy. So in order for me to be able to connect with somebody, it's got to be a mutual back and forth, and you have to be able to express it. You have to be able to tell me your likes, your dislikes, and all of that good stuff, just as much as I want to share with you. Otherwise, there's no connection. So for today's tip, learn how to communicate and express yourself to somebody and anybody and everybody. Be authentic, be vulnerable. It's okay. Life's too short not to put yourself out there. I know that it's scary for a lot of people, and I would just recommend giving it a shot. Learning to find out what your fear is associated with that. Why are you afraid of rejection? Why are you afraid? And is it okay? And will you survive it? I think you'll get through it no matter what. And then just try again. And if at first you don't succeed, try again. Y'all go out and make your dates amazing. Have a wonderful week, and I'll talk to you soon.